The first test of the coronavirus vaccine in humans in Europe has begun at Oxford University in the United Kingdom. The vaccine, invented by the research team, was first given to the bodies of 2 volunteers on Thursday. In this test, 600 people will be vaccinated. Half of them will be given the COVID-19 vaccine and the other half will be given the controlled meningitis vaccine, according to a report by BBC Online. The Oxford test was designed so that volunteers would not know which vaccine they had received, but doctors would know. "I am a scientist," said Elsa Granato, who took part in the Oxford test. "I wanted to be part of the scientific process as much as I could." The vaccine was developed in a 3-month effort by Oxford University. Sarah Gilbert, Professor of Vaccinology at the Jenner Institute, led the preclinical research. "Personally, I have a lot of confidence in this vaccine," he said. "Of course we have to test it and take information from people. We need to show that it actually works. It remains to be seen whether people will be infected with the coronavirus before the widespread use of the vaccine." Earlier, Professor Gilbert said he was 80% confident the vaccine would work. His expectations are much higher. A weaker version of the common cold virus, adenovirus from chimpanzees, has been used to make the vaccine. It has been transformed in such a way that it cannot grow in humans. Researchers at Oxford have previously developed a vaccine for coronavirus, another disease of Mars. The same process was followed in this case. Clinical trials showed promising results. The researchers will examine the coronavirus data on how many volunteers are infected with the coronavirus. The study is being led by Andrew Pollard, a professor in the Department of Pediatric Infection and Immunity at Oxford University. Pollard told Sky News that they would first test the tick directly on humans in a short range. The test will be applied first on healthy young people. The elderly will then be tested. The Oxford research team claims that they expect the vaccine to produce enough antibodies to counteract the coronavirus. The experimental tick has been named CHADOX1N-CoV-19. Andrew Pollard, a professor at the Oxford Vaccine Group, said the current epidemic is in full swing. "If we can't catch it, we can't say whether the vaccine will be effective in the next few months. But hopefully, more will happen in the future. Because the virus has not gone away yet, vaccine researchers are prioritizing the recruitment of local health workers as volunteers. Because their risk of getting infected with the virus is higher than others. The next step will be to test 5,000 volunteers in the coming months. At that time there will be no age discrimination." Researchers are also considering whether to take 2 doses of the vaccine, as older people usually have a weak response to the vaccine. Will anyone be tested for coronavirus infection in the future? Researchers say it is not ethical because there is no cure yet. If we get to the point where there is some treatment for the disease and we can guarantee the safety of the volunteers, it would be a great way to test a vaccine, said Professor Pollard. Volunteers taking part in the test will be closely monitored in the coming months. Some people may suffer from sores, headaches or fever a day or 2 after receiving the vaccine. But the Oxford research team says the vaccine has a lower risk of exacerbating the disease. Researchers expect to make 1 million doses of vaccine by September. If the vaccine proves effective, then determine the level of production. Professor Gilbert said the issue of production has not yet been decided. "It is not our job to decide what will happen. We have to try to create a vaccine that works and has enough, and then others will decide what happens. We have to try to get enough doses so that those who are most urgent get them." Not only the United Kingdom, but also developing countries, Professor Andrew Pollard said they would produce 1 million vaccines by next September, as well as the test will continue. If the test is successful, it will be implemented in a mass manner quickly. However, if the test fails in this method, the entire production will be cancelled. In addition to Oxford researchers, another team from Imperial College London will begin testing the coronavirus vaccine in June. Oxford and the Imperial team have received £40 million in funding from the government. British Health Minister Matt Hancock spoke at a briefing on Tuesday about the vaccine, which was developed by a research team at Oxford University. The project is being jointly managed by the Jenner Institute in the UK and the Oxford Vaccine Group. Matt Hancock said on Tuesday, "We will cooperate with them, the vaccination project, in all sorts of ways. We will try to meet all their needs as much as possible to increase their chances of success." Earlier, on March 18, a ticker trial was started in Seattle, USA. Researchers at Seattle's Kaiser Permanent Vaccine Treatment and Evolution Unit say they have now begun administering a second round of vaccines to volunteers, USA Today reported. This means that no visible side effects of the first tick were observed. Lisa Jackson, head of the research team, said, "Vaccine testing has not stopped. Therefore, it can be assumed that nothing negative happened in terms of the ticker given in the first phase." Subscribe to World News and don't forget to click the bell icon to not miss any updates.